Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been maniacs on the floor since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, and I just can't take it anymore because I'm a maniac on the floor. How's it going, fellas?
Nicely done.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say that's like I love that genre of music, the hair 80s, the so bad it's good 80s rock anthems, the cocaine fueled 80s. That's a good genre of music right there.
It's a sweet spot.
It is. It's really you start off with that genre listening ironically, and then it quickly takes a turn into full on fandom.
That's Africa by Toto right there in a nutshell.
And then next thing you know, you're wearing teal green nylon windbreakers and turtlenecks and high white socks with your wind pants just all over the place as you're walking.
Yeah, you're not sneaking up on anybody with those things.
No, not at all.
And if you would, even if you were thinking about it, the boombox on your shoulder gives you away about a half mile down the road.
Yep. You start wearing wristbands for no reason. It's crazy. You're blocking sweat from places you're not even sweating. You're wearing a headband all the time. Your hair's 10 feet tall. Oh God, the 80s, right? Am I right?
Am I right?
You were right.
Am I right? 80s, what a good decade, you know.
Speaking of the 80s, you didn't leave us a review, did you?
What does that have to do with the 80s?
Well, we go on at least 80 reviews.
Oh, okay, I got you. We're almost at 80 episodes, so that's...
Yeah. Wow.
That's notable. And in honor of the 80th episode that hasn't come yet, you should head on over to the Unqualified podcast page. Let me hit those P's. Everyone likes a nice hard P. Go to the podcast page and leave a review. Make it 5 stars. Tell us how you feel. You could even just write anything. It doesn't even have to even be a real review. Just write whatever you're feeling. Just tell us how you feel, and maybe I'll respond and tell you how I feel. Because I can tell you how I feel right now. Pissed! With a major P. So, yeah, I'm not going to harass you again. Remember what I said. I'll come and find you. This is the only podcast that harasses you directly. Since 2017.
Let's get into Games of the Week. Crunchwrap Supreme Games of the Week. We got a lot this week. This week is loaded. Week 10. This is a big week for fantasy, big week for NFL, past the halfway point at this point, which is really weird as well. But first game we got Panthers at Packers. We got the Packers favored by -5. News out of the Panthers camp is that Cam Newton is out for a few more weeks. Honestly, at this point, like, are they just going to put him on the IR?
They should. I don't think they will, but they should.
I don't think they will either. I think it's always going to be like a weekly, like, oh, is he going to come back this week? He saw specials last week, and they said there's no surgery on the table, but it's going to be a nagging injury.
Why are all these players seeing specialists this late? Like,
right.
What was he doing for the past month?
Yeah, I have no idea. Month and a half.
Right.
He got hurt in week 2.
Yeah, I just don't
Deshaun Jackson, same thing. It's stupid as hell. I also hate playing against Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, me
really
too.
hate it. I can't stress that enough. It's horrible.
It is the worst.
It is a siege, a pride-sucking siege playing against Christian McCaffrey every single... I feel like I played him way too many times this year already.
It's
been way too many fucking times.
That's a great way to describe it. Like, you're quartered off from getting any reinforcements from your fellow troops, and the life is slowly choked out of you.
Yep. Your pride is sucked out of you. It's not like you lose your pride. It's literally someone grabbing it from your soul and sucking it out of you.
It's the inevitability of the situation. That's the worst.
It's going to happen.
It's soul crushing.
Yep. That's the worst part, is you're going into the week, into the matchup, like, okay, if he gets 21 points and then these guys get like 5 each, like I have a chance. And of course, he gets 38 points. And it's like, yeah, no, that was like on the roadmap too. I assumed he was going to get that many. I was just hoping he would get 20 freaking points. It's horrible.
Yet you know someone's going to take him, or someone's not going to take him first overall next year. And
yeah,
hey, have fun, knock yourself out. He's clearly the number one player in fantasy, and
easily.
I mean,
MVP candidate.
This game is so tough for me to pick because the Packers did not look good last week. Adams is back, but I don't know what happened.
What good is that?
I mean, yeah. I guess a bounce back game is in order, but I mean, how can you pick against Christian McCaffrey right now? I just don't get it. Like, you know, he's going to score at least 2 touchdowns. He's going to have 200 scrimmage yards. It doesn't matter what defense he's playing. And it's really tough to beat this team when he does that. So give me the dog. Give me the 5 points on the road.
I agree. Yeah, I'm looking at the 1x1 Panthers. Greg Olsen could have a nice game here. Hunter Henry got 10 targets last week against the Packers and had almost 100 yards. So Greg Olsen could have a little bounce back week this week. He's been a little slightly underwhelming past 4 or 5 weeks with Kyle Allen. Besides the Cowboys game in Week 5, Packers have been pretty stout against opposing wide receivers. So they've let up at least 202 yards to wide receivers just once. Besides the Packers game in Week 5, tight ends they're 27th against. So it's pretty good for the Panthers. Packers, yeah. I mean, you got to play A-Rod, you got to play Devontae Adams. Just play them all and hope something good happens against the Panthers, who have a pretty good defense. Beginning of the 2015 season, Packers have gone 1-5 straight up and against the spread at home during the month of November. So they've been awful.
Interesting.
Absolutely awful. Panthers have been 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their past 5 road games. But the one loss is a pretty bad one. Week 8 last year, or no, sorry, this year, 49ers beat them 51-13. The 5-point spread is almost a good thing for the Panthers. It's because they've covered 4 straight games when they're an underdog of 5 or more points. So that's a lot there.
Give me the Panthers.
A lot of numbers.
I'm taking the Panthers.
I'm going to take the Panthers, yeah, to cover that. I agree. Next one we got Vikings at Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 3. Who is Stephon Diggs this year? What is going on with him?
He is an enigma. I don't know.
He is frustrating as shit to own. It's bad, too. As much as I hate playing against Christian McCaffrey, it's almost as much as I hate owning Stephon Diggs. But Cowboys are 28th against tight ends and 4th against wide receivers, so this isn't a week for him to bounce back. This could be a Kyle Rudolph sneak in for a touchdown week.
It's getting colder. It's almost time. We're past Halloween. It's time for Rudolph the Red Zone Reindeer.
I like that. 3 catches in his last 4 weeks too. So he's getting some PPR value. Cowboys though, I feel like Michael Gallup. This is just a gut feeling. He's gonna burn Trey Waynes in this matchup. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, just like the second corner, not as good.
I also think that Xavier Rhodes hasn't been that great either. So right. I think Cooper will have a good game as well. I think I really like the Cowboys in this spot. This game is going to come down to, can the Cowboys stop Dalvin Cook? Because if Thielen is still out injured, I don't see any other way the Vikings can do damage in this game besides giving Cook the ball 35 times. You know, and if the Cowboys linebackers are up to the task, then I think they win this game.
Yeah, and honestly, the Chiefs kind of held Dalvin Cook to a pretty bad game this past week, under 100 yards. Kirk Cousins also lost against the Chiefs, who have a winning record. And as of Monday night, when we're recording this, the Cowboys are up on the Giants, so I'm sure they will have a winning record. That doesn't bode well for the Kirk Cousins-led Vikings. He's 6-28, Kirk Cousins, in his career against teams with a winning record.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That is so bad.
The picture of mediocrity.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Since the beginning of last season, Cowboys are 10-2 straight up at home and 8-4 against the spread. Vikings, when they're a road underdog, 2-9 straight up and 3-8 against the spread the last 11 times it's happened. So I'm going to take the Cowboys in this. I think they're going to win this game. And I think the Vikings are they're very one-dimensional.
I'm with that.
Next one, Seahawks at 49ers, Monday Night Football. What a game. I love this game. This is such a good game. Russell Wilson, I love Lamar Jackson, but he's a front runner for the MVP right now.
Yes.
He's having an unbelievable season. This is a really tough matchup for him and all of his specialists, but you absolutely could not bench Russell Wilson. You might get 15 points instead of 30 out of him. But all of his pass catchers, this is a really tough matchup. You can't sit Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf is a flex play, but he's kind of low upside in this matchup. The 49ers defense is either first, second, or third against quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Literally in every single category this year so far.
First off, you know how I feel about the 49ers. Love the helmets. Love the team. No one's stopping Russell Wilson. It could be the 85 Bears on the field, and he's putting up big numbers. This is going to be a shootout because the Seahawks defense is not nearly as good as people think it is. It's kind of like the Ravens of years past, where you think just because it's the Seahawks, just because it's the Ravens, you think it's good defense. It's not. It's average, slightly below average maybe. This game's going to be an absolute shootout. Tyler Lockett is going to get his. I agree. I think DK is a little bit of a worse matchup because I think Sherman can handle him on the outside. I don't think they have a guy that can match Lockett's speed. And the 49ers can score. So, this is going to be a track meet. Give me the Seahawks to cover at least on Monday Night Football. I love Primetime Russ. You can't bet against Primetime Russ.
Yep. And Josh Gordon might be back this week.
Yeah.
For Russ Wilson, too. I called the Baltimore beating the Patriots last week. Calling it right now. Seahawks are going to beat the 49ers this week.
I'm into.
They're going to break the undefeated streak here. The 49ers have a really tough 8 games in the back half of their schedule. The other thing is, though, by the numbers, 49ers playing at home on a Monday night over the past 30 years. It's a long, big sample size. They're 21-5 straight up in Monday home games and 18-7-1 against the spread. Russell Wilson has been almost unbeatable in road primetime games.
Let's go.
Since 2013, 8-2-1 straight up in road primetime games and 7-3-1 against the spread. So I'm going to take them. I agree. Next one. This is Doritos Locos Tacos. Properly hyped but missing some clout. Chiefs at Titans. Chiefs are favored by 3.5. And that's the dumbest line. I'm going to hammer this line.
Oh, yeah. This is the Live Moss gambling tip of the week. Hammer this line. Because
hammer it.
First off, they have the better backup quarterback. I think.
That's right. Yeah, I think they do.
They have the much better offensive scheme. And Tyreek Hill he's a game breaker.
Guy's unreal. Yep. Yeah, Matt Moore is really solid against the Vikings. I think it's a reflection of Andy Reid, though. It's such an amazing system, like you just said. Run game for the Chiefs finally got going. Damian Williams. But this is a really tough matchup against the Titans, and it's kind of a hot hand approach, so I'd stay away from that. Tennessee is also 22nd against tight ends, so Kelsey, good for daily fantasy here. You needed a reason to play him in season long. Derrick Henry, 2 carries in the first half last week for some stupid-ass reason, but he's the way they can win this game. They're 30th. Kansas City is 30th against the running backs this year. We don't even need to worry about stats for Chiefs-Titans. I'm hammering the Chiefs.
I'm with you.
Next one, Falcons at Saints. Saints are favored by 13.5, which is kind of ridiculous, but man. I don't hate it. Both were on a bye last week, so much needed bye. What do we think?
We know Breeze is back, which is great. He had a really nice game before the bye. I think Kamara needed that week to get right, and I think he'll be back. And for those 2 reasons, you can't. I know they're trying to tempt you to take the Falcons. The Saints win this game by 2 touchdowns. They're at home. The Falcons are a disaster.
Breeze. Yep.
It's almost like one of those games where you just pick the opposite because it seems too obvious. Give me the Saints here. I really think Kamara is going to be back healthy. I know Breeze is back healthy. Michael Thomas, who's matching up with him? Are you freaking kidding me? No, give me the Saints all day.
Past 3 years, Falcons have gone 4-16 against the spread in road games. 8-12 straight up. Saints are 17-2 straight up in their past 19 home games. 12-7 against the spread. I'm taking the Saints. This is it's a high one, but we've also covered the last 3 times they've been favored by double digits, so I'll take them. Cardinals at Bucks. Bucks are favored by 6. We Do we have a running back controversy in Arizona here? Kenyon Drake looked like a perfect fit.
Yeah.
For this Cliff Kingsbury offense. What do you think? David Johnson should come back this week.
I don't get how, like, what has happened to David Johnson? Like, I know he was having a pretty decent year before he got hurt, but, like, why can't a coach use him in the correct way? I don't get it. It's not hard. Like, split him out as a wide receiver, hand him the ball, let him be the focal point of your offense. I don't know.
Put him in the slot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, I know Kenny Drake looked great. It's a product of the matchup here. I think the Bucs, obviously, they're prone to, giving up a lot of points sometimes, but I think their defense is in a similar vein to the Seahawks and Ravens. I think it's better than you think it is because you think, like, oh, it's the Bucs. Really, the only thing going against them here is that Jameis might, turn the ball over on the 30-yard line and give the Cardinals some nice red zone opportunities. I don't know. I'm still taking the Bucs. I don't think Mike Evans is slowing down anytime soon. So, despite the whole Jameis thing, give me the Bucs here. I don't know. I'm finding myself wagering on them every week, and it never pays off. But it always seems like a good idea when we record.
You actually, for the early lines last week, I think it was -7 for the Seahawks, and they technically did cover that.
Yeah, because there's no extra
point. They lost by
point.
6 in overtime. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one. The Bucs have lost 5 straight home games dating back to last year.
Really?
They're 2-6 this year. Yeah, and they're 1-4 in those 5 games. And the Cardinals are 4-1 against the spread in their past 5 road games. And they they definitely covered with the 49ers, but they almost. It was garbage time, but like. They kept that 49ers game like pretty tight. I don't know. They got Kenyon Drake now and David Johnson. Fuck Chase Edmonds. Fuck you, honestly. I hate you. But I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. Next matchups, we got Spicy Potato Taco. Light but sneaky good. Bills at Browns. Browns are favored by -2.5.
Criminal. That line is criminal. The Browns should not be favored over anyone.
No one.
Let alone the Bills.
Stop it.
Who, look, I know they lost last week, but they gave the Eagles everything they can handle. Oh, no, sorry, that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, they gave the Eagles everything they can handle, and then they just kind of lost out because they don't have a top-end quarterback to contain. But then they beat the Redskins this past week. I was mixing them up with the Bears. They're similar.
Yeah, similar.
But Josh Allen's better than Mitch, just throwing that out there.
Definitely.
The Bills are a legit football team. Like, they might be a playoff football team. And the Browns are a dumpster fire. This is another must bet here. Give me the Bills on the road dog. This line makes no sense. The Bills, I would favor.
It doesn't make any sense.
The Bills should be favored in this game by 2.5. This is a 5-point discount here for you bettors out there.
I completely agree. If there is a weakness in the Bills' defense, though, it's their rush defense. They're 22nd against running backs. They just gave up 100-plus yards to Adrian Peterson. And this is the Kareem Hunt return week, so I don't even know if Nick Chubb is a good play, but there's a chance to win this game for the Browns, and it's hand the ball 40 times total to Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, but I don't think Kitchens has the wherewithal to do that.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing to friend of the pod, Brad. He's a fellow Nick Chubb owner. I was talking to him about it at work, and we agree. Nick Chubb needs 30 carries a game, and he's one of the rare running backs that could handle that.
Yeah.
And I know Kareem Hunt can handle a big workload, and honestly, let's be real, Devin Singletary is probably the most likely here to get 25 touches. That tells you all you need to know about Freddie Kitchens on the Browns side. So give me the Bills. They're light years ahead in terms of coaching, in terms of identity, and just self-awareness. They know what they are, they know what they're not, and they're gonna play to the maximum of their potential, and that is light years ahead of what the Browns are getting. So give me the Bills.
6-1 against the spread in the past 7 games when they've been underdog, the Bills. Next one, Rams at Steelers. This is an interesting,
really
this
fun.
is a weird matchup. Yeah, I don't know, I don't know why. I just can't see these two teams being on the field at the same time. Like right now, it's hard for me to picture it.
Yeah, has it ever happened?
I don't know.
It has to have happened before. I
guess.
I totally agree. I don't think I've ever seen this game.
Yeah, and no Big Ben. It's going to be really weird. It's like a mismatch all over the place. I feel like the Rams really needed their bye last week. I don't know what the hell's going on with Robert Woods, but he's like back of the bench right now. He is killing me in one of my leagues, and I was for the longest time, like all year, I'm 5-4 now in Brady Rose League, and I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with my team, diagnose it a little bit. I have Lamar Jackson, I have Nick Chubb, I have Chris Godwin, I have Austin Hooper. So you would think, at the very least, I would have 6 wins there, like 6-3, maybe even 7-2. But I have Le'Veon Bell and I have Robert Woods, and I've been playing them like almost all year, and it's been killing me. I also have Cortland Sutton, and like he's going in the rest of the year, obviously over Robert Woods. Cortland Sutton is this year's Robert Woods of last year.
Well, I like
in
that.
My opinion.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I would also throw Marvin Jones out there. He's kind of the Robert Woods of this year. Like that second option that's kind of the best option on the team, you know, and you just
could be the best.
You just can't help but really like him. And, you know, that led both of us to drafting Robert Woods. I had him on 2 teams to start the year, traded him in 1 league for Tevin Coleman, which is good and bad, I guess. Mostly good.
That was good.
And, you know, it's
brutal.
It's been disappointing. And let's be real, like, he was not a high pedigree guy coming over from Buffalo. And he kind
second round pick, but
he kind of looks like that guy now, as opposed to the rock star that he's been for the past 3 years. So kind of sucks, but is what it is.
Is what it is. Cooper Kupp is the guy. Steelers have only given up 100 plus rush yards twice this year to 2 different teams, Seattle and San Francisco. So that could stifle Gurley this week if you're like thinking, oh, he had a bye week to kind of get healthier. Steelers have a pretty good rush defense.
That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, oh, he's going to look great this week. Great week to trade him after he goes off. But if that doesn't even happen, then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The Steelers they're 17th against the wide receivers, 25th against tight ends. So hopefully, Gerald Everett has a good game.
I was going to say also
Cooper Kupp does.
I kind of feel like I just have a gut feeling this might be the Darrell Henderson week. I don't know why.
That's a good call.
I don't know why. It's totally irrational, but I'm like, you know, McVay with 2 weeks to cook that up.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could get him in some sneaky, freaky plays out there. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but I would pick him up this week if I had the bench space. I unfortunately don't. But
should be rostered anyway.
Yeah.
Because Malcolm Brown's been out. Speaking of McVay, never lost a regular season to an AFC team. They're 10-0 straight up and 7-2-1 against the spread against AFC teams.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy. He's also never lost a regular season game in the Eastern time. Like it's the recency effect, right? Like we were like, oh, the Rams they're kind of shitty this year. They're 4-5-3 or whatever. Like McVay, I don't know. He's not like innovating. Last year, what were they? 13-3.
Yeah,
they got to the Super Bowl.
And let's be real. Like, who did they lose to this year? I know they lost to the 49ers.
Let me look.
They lose to the Seahawks or they beat the Seahawks?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. This is important. We got to look this up.
All right, so they lost to the Seahawks, the 49ers, both quality teams, and then that game against the Bucs.
And the Bucs almost beat the Seahawks just then this past week.
They beat the Panthers and the Saints to open the year. So
that's 2 really good wins. The Saints they beat.
Yeah.
Was Bridgewater in that game?
No, I think that was the game that Breeze got hurt. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Still a good win.
That's a solid win. That's a good team.
They get the Steelers this week, the Bears next week. That's a fucking win. And then they go up against the Ravens in what should be a really fun game. Like this narrative could flip in no time. So
yeah.
I mean,
I got the Cardinals after that, Seahawks, Cowboys, 49ers, Cardinals. Not a horrible schedule. They could be like a 9-7, 10-6 team here.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's enough to get them in the playoffs. We could see 3 playoff teams from that division, which is nuts.
I would love that.
I really hope that's the case because I'm sick of the NFC North.
Enough.
The Vikings,
so boring.
The Vikings and the Lions, just no thank you.
The Bears, Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna take I'm taking the Rams. I'm hammering this line too, 3.5.
Hell yeah.
Next one. Speaking of the NFC North, Lions at the Bears. The Bears are favored by -3. Who gives a shit? What do we think of this matchup?
Well, I mean, if you throw a lion into a cage with a bear, I think you take the bear. But in the wild, I think I take the lion because they're a little bit more mobile. Although bears are sneaky mobile. They can climb trees and all that jazz. But, the king of the jungle, king of the forest, give me the king of the jungle. I don't know. I like the lions here.
I think it depends on what kind of bear it is. If it's like a grizzly.
I'm thinking like a grizzly, yeah.
Not like a black bear, because a black bear get messed up by a lion. Like black bears are bitches.
I'm thinking like a grizzly bear, like an alpha grizzly bear, and like and Mufasa, like prime
and Mufasa,
like prime Mufasa, like right after he sees the throne as a young, I guess in lion terms, 20-something young man, fresh. He's at the peak of his physical powers. He has the women tigers brought to him on a daily basis. Like that level of Mufasa against like the grizzly bear from the movie The Revenant. And I'll still take Mufasa there.
Ooh, no, I'm taking that grizzly. That thing is scary. But I will say though, female lions, aren't they the hunters? And the male lions are kind of like lazy. They like ones that lay around and lounge around.
What a life.
I'm pretty sure female lionesses are the hunters. So I feel like you could put like a really athletic female lion in there with like they would fuck up a black bear. I'm still taking the grizzly regardless though. Grizzly bears are scary.
So does that mean you're taking Mitch Trubisky here?
No, actually I'm taking the lions, the actual lions in football terms here. The bears are just awful. I cannot in good faith take the bears in any matchup.
You were right. You were right, by the way, about female lions. They do all the hunting in a pride. The male lions tend to step in and take any spoils of victory. What lazy. A life! You know what? It's got to be the hair cotton. They get away with whatever they want because of that
feathered and lethal,
glorious mane. Look, Matthew Stafford is having a career renaissance this year.
I love that guy. I love him.
Like you were expecting that last year, and we're getting what you expected last year, this year. And you were right. You were just a little bit early. You were way ahead of the game. Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay, take that to the bank. They're both. I would say Kenny Golladay is probably a low end wide receiver 1, and I think Marvin Jones is a high end wide receiver 2 at this point.
Yeah, completely agree. Lions covering road games against NFC teams. Past 15 games, they've gone 10-4-1 against the spread. I'm hammering the Lions here. Speaking of hammering lines, the Lions over the Bears, Rams over the Steelers, Chiefs over the Titans. Take those all to the bank in our Liv Moss gambling tips of the week.
Yeah, were there any others that we maybe the Browns, maybe the Bills too? I would add the Bills to that discussion.
Maybe the Bills. It's kind of a trap game for the Bills though.
I know. Yeah, I could see Chubb going bonkers. I could see
and Kareem Hunt coming back, like maybe that reinvigorates the offense. I don't think it will happen, but there's a chance it does, and the Bills are a little susceptible. I'm gonna try that again. Susceptible to running backs.
I would say combine, maybe tease a couple of those games together, the Lions, the Rams, or the Chiefs. Any combination will do. And then I would do, as an aside, I would put some money on the Bills by themselves. I wouldn't let them ruin a parlay.
Nice.
But as a straight up play, like that's what you want to play. And actually, I would probably bet the money line. The bet that they win the game and take those odds where you get paid out, over even. This is a good week to gamble in the NFL. I'm just throwing that out there.
Not last week.
Yeah, there's been some rough weeks where we just have one game and we're like, oh, I guess bet the Patriots. I guess bet against the Jets. Like this week, there's some wonky lines out there. There's some narratives that people are just not really attuned to, and you can capitalize. So get out there, wager that hard-earned money, and then come yelling at us when it goes poorly. We can't wait.
Can't wait. Liv Moss. That does it for Week 10 preview. Thank you for leaving a review in the time that we've recorded this episode. I know Rob was really getting after you guys, and you know what? I'm glad. It needs to be put out in the ether.
Ooh,
it needs to be said.
I think we were under our ether quota for the past month, and November's a new month, Scott. Let's make this happen. Let's get that ether full of
Torque.
ether comments. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying.
No ether November.
It's too late now. That's all I'm going to say.
Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who definitely left a review today. Really appreciate you, and to the 12% that maybe didn't leave a review, unsubscribe now. I already have your IP address. I already have your home address. I already have your phone number, your email, your social security number. It's over for you.
Oh God, Jesus!
There's
Really
no
got dark
coming back.
there. Don't actually
we are
unsubscribe.
Definitely on a watch list now.
Unsubscribe
if we weren't
and
already.
start.
The FBI guy on our
Unsubscribe and
phones.
start running now.
Jesus. On that note,
Are you just like the ghost from It Follows? Like you're just gonna slowly make your way
every 7
towards
years.
these people?
I'm the ghost of podcast past and present.
Well,
I'm an omnipresent entity. I'm in your speakers. I'm in your ears. I'm in the real world, bitch.
Well,
See you later.
See you later.
See you later.